Welcome to Car Shopping Questions and Answers. If you're car shopping right now, or you will be in the next 6 months, I want you to type me in the comments. If you are car shopping right now, or you will be in the next 6 months, type me in the comments. I'm here to talk to the people who are locked in, who care about their money for the next 30, 45 minutes about buying and leasing cars below market value. There's only three prices you can pay with any car. Market value, that's the price everyone pays. Negotiators pay market value. Above market value is people who just don't know how to negotiate at all, have no strategy. They're going to pay above market value. And then below market value. Below market value is reserved for the people with strategies, not negotiators. The reason we get below market deals is because we employ online strategies that are very easy to use, where we put dealers and banks against each other while we sit and relax at home. So start typing your questions. I do these live streams a couple days throughout the week to make sure you have all the answers you need to be able to buy, lease, and sell cars for the maximum money. And that's all we do here. So everything we'll be talking about is out of my new book. It's called It's called Cars from Home: 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. It's 5-star rated, and you can get your copy for the next 30 minutes. It's part of my welcome offer for 75% off. It's normally $97, but if you get to my TikTok bio or my Instagram bio before 30 minutes is up, you got yours for $24. It'll be in your inbox in 2 or 3 minutes. I also have a comment on YouTube or in the Facebook comments for you to activate your 75% off. That's everything we'll be talking about today. Let's go with the first question, Dolan. Let's get the show on the road, and let's get to some unlearning and relearning. Philly Speed, the last car I bought, the dealership wanted me to use their financing instead of my pre-approval. So we always let the dealership see if they can beat the financing we have, but we also come in prepared. And now you got to be careful now, because banks are now scamming. Banks are locking people in with hard credit pull pre-approvals. So they know that the people are hip to pre-approvals. And so I want you to pay very close attention to any company, dealership included, that tries to lock you in, because that's the exact opposite of what we do. We do not let banks and dealerships lock us in, because that prevents us from shopping their competition. And the way that you save the big money, not the hundreds, if you want to save the thousands, the 3,000s, the 5,000s, the 10,000s, and more, is you're putting dealers and banks against each other. That is the name of the game, and that allows you to save more money than you've ever saved without being you could be the world's worst negotiator. You could be a horrible negotiator, and putting dealers and banks against each other is going to be how you save more money than the best negotiator in the world. So we don't do pre-approvals unless they're soft credit pull. If they're soft credit pull, we'll use the pre-approval to budget, because the only purpose of a pre-approval is to budget. Who's a homeowner? Type me if you're a homeowner. You know you got a pre-approval, or you got pre-approved for your mortgage to budget. They told you, based on your credit, based on your income, you could afford this much house: 300,000, 400,000, 600,000. They told you this is what your interest rate would be. This is what your monthly mortgage payment would be with taxes and insurance. So the only purpose for pre-approvals is budgeting. So now, when you don't, the reason why I hate bad pre-approvals, in my book I call them restricted pre-approvals, is because, one, they're going to activate the rate shopping window. Thanks, Dawn. The rate shopping window is a period of time that the credit bureaus give you to let multiple banks and lenders access your credit with a hard pull to compete. So within a 14-day period, you can have 20 banks access your credit, give you their best rate, so that you know you got the best rate because you created competition. Now, once you activate the first hard pull, the clock starts ticking. The clock starts ticking. And when you start, even see, You think this is your bank. It's not your bank. You don't own it. We don't own these banks. These are for-profit companies. Just like somebody said to me the other day at the gym, hey, I went to my car dealer and they told me this. I said, you own a car dealership? He said, oh, no, I meant the dealership that sold me the car. Okay, use those words wisely because it's not your dealership and it's not your bank. These people would not even want to know you if you weren't giving them money. So now that you actually know the truth and you're aware of what that is, let's start putting these people against each other so you can find out that these people aren't truly your friend. So the way we do it, I have a strategy I call the bank bidding war. This is what the credit bureaus allow. Again, you can Google Experian rate shopping, and you'll see an entire blog post that Experian put together saying how they allow you to rate shop with the hard pull. And at the end of the window, as long as you have multiple lenders within that period of time, not multiple dealers, not dealers running your credit, lenders, independent lenders, banks, credit unions, you're fine. At the end of the window, it's going to weigh on your credit like one hard inquiry. So if one hard inquiry would have lowered your credit score 10 points, 20 hard inquiries are going to lower your credit score the same 10 points because they see you're shopping for your rate. You don't get penalized for being diligent. You get rewarded because they know if you're shopping for your rate, you care about the $2,000 and $3,000 and $5,000 in your loan that you could save by getting the best interest rate. So we do this after we find our car, Philly Speed, because once we find our car, first of all, let me say this one thing. We separate who we buy our car from who we get our loan from. These two different people, because whoever wins the bid gets our loan. Whoever wins the bid gets to sell us a car. It's not the same person. It's not the same companies. What's up, Sheila? Good to see you, Sheila. So this is so once we find the dealer who's going to sell us the car, they win the bid, used car, new car. We now lock that car up with a deposit. Now we come home, we do all our rate shopping online, banks, credit unions, online lenders. I have resources in my book where you have online credit unions. Let all these people compete. Then we call the dealer and we see if they can beat it. This is how we guarantee that we're not paying 7.2% interest when we could have been paying 5.9% interest. We're not paying 6.9 when we could have been paying 5.19. That's big money. And I know you haven't been taught that. You've been taught, oh, let me just focus on this, my monthly payment. That's one of the worst things you could do is being a payment shopper. Being a payment shopper, hey, give me the $400 a month for this car. We got a deal. That is one of the, and in fact, that's the first video I made on TikTok that really introduced me to the world. Is the worst thing you could do in a car dealership. Just say, get me to this payment, we got a deal. Payments they can manipulate. $400 a month on a loan is 5 years, $20,000 on a regular loan. There could be $30,000 on a lease, $35,000 depending on the car. On a lease, could be $18,000, $15,000 with bad credit. $400 a month. There's so many ways to get this $400 a month. So you don't want to be mixing these things. You want to separate your loan shopping from your car shopping. And it's easy when you're paying cash. Cash buyers don't make these mistakes. Cash buyers still overpay. They don't get, unless they're bidding, but they don't make the mistake of mixing their payments and thinking, wow, just because I got a good monthly payment means I got a good price on the car. Absolutely not. You could have a great monthly payment, but you paid a terrible price for the car. Two totally different things. That's why we separate them. Go ahead, Dolan. I see a lot of questions coming in. Let's go. We'll keep more coming. Let's go. You ever had bad? Okay, let's go to the next question. I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what that means. Go ahead, Dolan. Next question. Maybe there was a typo. Can you please let us know if there's any limits for gap insurance if I'm upside down? It depends on on the coverage. You need to find out the coverage. There are gap insurance policies that I've heard of that didn't cover the entire shortfall. So, for example, if your vehicle is worth $25,000, but you owe $30,000, you're upside down. If your vehicle gets stolen and not found or totaled, you're going to owe money. And I've seen this happen so many times throughout the years because people didn't get gap insurance. They'll literally total their car. And then so now you got a horrible life event that happened. You got into a car accident, and then you get a bill. You get a bill, and people are like, wow, where did I get this bill from? And it's like, your car was only worth 25, but your loan was 30. So if you're driving around in a car that does not have, that's not worth what you owe, but you don't have gap insurance, you're exposed. Something happens to that car, not only are you going to lose the car, you got a bill coming to you. So what I always say is, you got to know when you're upside down. You got to know when to get gap insurance. And you also have to know you don't have to buy it from the dealership. You can call your insurance company, see if they sell it. You can Google insurance companies that sell gap. Usually you can find it for a cheaper price than what the dealership is going to charge. But some of the worst, it's insult to injury. It's not many things like losing your car and then getting a bill on top of that. That's almost as bad as like having a car that's breaking down and then you got to fix something on it, but you still have a car payment. So the car doesn't drive, transmission's out, but you still got to make a payment every month. It's like, those are two of the toughest things. So know when you need gap insurance. Don't skip that. That's not a smart decision at all. But then check the coverage too, because he's asking about coverage. Check how much coverage. Do you have $15,000 of coverage? When you get your gap insurance policy, ask how much is covered if, God forbid, the vehicle is totaled. Go ahead, Dolan. All right. Hey, what's up, MT? I'm in the market to lease my first Mercedes. I'm looking for an S580E. Make sure you get multiple offers. So let me give you an example of somebody who shops for a luxury car, gets multiple offers, and this was an electric BMW. Where's Teddy's deal? Teddy got a $73,000 BMW i4 M50. He got it for, he said he got 10 offers. Now, we use a process in my book, it's called the 25 to 5. When you're getting a new car or a lease, you're reaching out to new car dealerships. And the reason why the strategy is called the 25 to 5, because we're going to get 25, we're going to connect with 25 dealers online. Takes us 20 minutes. Using my email scripts, we're going to get 5 offers. So it's 25 connections, 5 offers, 25 to 5. Now, some people you'll see they've gotten more offers using the strategy. In Teddy's case, he said, I received 10 offers. I only used the scripts provided. Closed on a 2024 BMW, $73,000 MSRP, $856 a month. Now, here's what I always say, and Teddy is going to confirm this. When you properly shop multiple offers, you are going to see a wide range. If you shop the right way, your best offer should be $150 to $200 apart, at least that different. So your highest offer should be at least close to $200 apart from your best offer. And sometimes it's even more than that. So in Teddy's case, you can see the dealer's initial offer came at $937 using the counter offer calculator, which I have in my book. You get access to this calculator where we put all our offers in, and then it spits out the counter offers based on the best offer we received. He said I counted at $829. He came back at $856. That's where he closed the deal at. So $856. $73,000 vehicle, that's a 1.1% lease. The way you judge your leases is you divide the monthly payment into the total MSRP, and that gives you what the percentage is. So he got a 1.16% lease. But here's what's very important. My highest offer during this process from a different dealer was $1123. $1123, even after his counters. So when I tell you that 80% of dealers are overpriced, had he been inside that dealership that was $1123 trying to negotiate, it would not have mattered how great of a negotiator he was. The $1123 dealer is not coming down to $856 because the $1123 dealer is an 80% dealer. They're not going to sell the car if they can't make a certain amount of money. And that's what the 80% do. They'll discount and say, that's the best we can do. They're not lying to you, but it's not the best their competition is willing to do. So if you're in a dealership that's an 80% dealer, this is why I said at the beginning of the stream, negotiators lose all the time. Great negotiators who don't use a bidding system lose all the time. I don't care if you're in sales, you say, Deshone, I've been in sales, I negotiate for a living. You lose all the time because there's no way for you to know the bottom of a vehicle. You don't know, is the bottom 7,000 off? Is it 3,000 off? Is it 15,000 off? What's the bottom? And the only way for you to know the bottom is to get multiple offers from multiple dealers and see the one who gives you the best offer. That's what confirms what the bottom is. So this is what you do. If you're talking about leasing an S580, this is what you do. You get multiple offers. On an S580 $100,000 car, you should see a $400 swing from your best offer to your worst offer. You might see $1,100 a month, and you might see $1,500 a month from one dealer. That is from a different dealer. That's how different it is. Now, if you want to call around and try to get the quotes yourself by the phone, you can do that. We don't do that. We use email because I believe that most people don't like talking to car dealerships. Believe it or not, there are some people who do, and God bless them. Go ahead, do your thing if that's you. Start calling around. But if you're like, you just want to be able to copy and paste and use emails, that is all in my digital book, Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. It's already 5-star rated. Thank you to everybody who's taken the time to write a review about the book. This is one that we got the other day. Marguerite, I started pulling these up. This book is a must if you're thinking of getting a new or used car. So much has changed in the process since I bought my car 40 years ago. Think of it as a workbook. Even though you finish the book, you'll refer back to it several times. This is another one that I snatched. Deshone the Auto Advisor book, Leave Nothing to Chance from A to Z. He covers every aspect of car research, acquisition. I use the step-by-step approach from securing financing first to better understanding what I could realistically afford. Researched several vehicles, which led to the certified pre-owned. I reviewed my car specs, model years. See, what he's doing is he's walking you through the process I walked him through. That's what it is. It's a process. So when you get Cars from Home, my digital book, you now have a process for getting below market leases, process for getting below market car deals, a process for selling your lease instead of returning it to dealers and they go and sell your lease and make $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 and you didn't even know you could sell leases. You sitting here like, man, I didn't even know you could sell a lease. How much has that cost you? Let me ask you a question. You're like, Deshone, I didn't even know you could sell a lease. How much has just that alone cost you? If you don't know you could do it, you certainly don't know how to do it. There's still you listen, honestly, you might have been taught you can't even sell your car without the title. Who was taught that? I got to have my title before I could sell it. And I know this is true because when I was at the Mercedes dealer, people would walk in and the guy would be like, Deshone, is that the new one? I said, yeah, that's the new, the 20, whatever. I said, all right, as soon as I make my last payment, coming back to see you for that. I know. Most of the people are not going to admit it, but they didn't know. They don't know this stuff. So the reason why we have to get, I'm talking to you who are honest, who are willing to be honest and willing to take the bad news, because that's how we change. You cannot, if you won't admit that you didn't even know how to sell a lease, then how are you going to get to the point where you can sell leases and make $2,000, $3,000, $4,000? See, I always meet people with bad news because I care about your car deal. I'm not the person who meets you and says, hey, Milton, you're doing a great job. Brandon, Randy, you guys are just doing a great job buying these cars. Look at your deals. Wow, you're getting 1% leases. Wow, look at all these offers. You're getting $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 off on all of these offers. Great job. Oh, man, look at your pre-owned car. You got a huge discount. Originally, this car was $50,000 and you got it with good mileage for $26,000. Wow, you got a great discount on this pre-owned car. That's not how I'm meeting you. That's not how I'm meeting you. I'm meeting you. You don't even know that you should be getting the new price of a used car. You're looking at a used car. Duh, I'm looking at a 3-year-old car. Deshone, how do I know if this is a good deal? Well, we need the brand new price. What was that car brand new? Was it 50? Hey, when I was looking at my Infiniti truck, I was buying an Infiniti truck 2 years ago. I was looking at 4 white ones. 4 white ones. They were between $30,000 and $32,000. Now, most people would have just said, "Oh, well, let me pick the best one." Close my eyes, did a roulette, and they would have got in trouble. Why? Because I know, which is what I teach you in my book and what I teach in these streams, you have to get the new price. So now I get the new price and I find out one of the vehicles brand new was 46, one was 48, one was 52, and one was 54. Brand new. So all of those cars, when they were 30 to 32, they look similar. Oh, they look so close in price. But once I understand that, oh, this one was 46. That one has $8,000 more equipment in it. The price became far. It became clear what value was the best. Somebody would have picked the $46,000 car and said, "Oh, well, that one was, they were asking the lowest price." Meanwhile, for $1,500 more, you could have got $8,000 more equipment. This is value. So these are the things when I meet you, this is how I come. Deshone, I know I made a lot of mistakes. I'm willing to hear the bad news so I can get to the good news, so I can stop making these mistakes. That's all we're here for. And if you could take that, then we're going to be fine. You're going to be just fine. I can help anyone get below market deal who's willing to unlearn. That's it. If you're willing to unlearn, you're good all day. Okay, so that's what you do, MT. Get bids, multiple bids. You need to get at least 5 bids for that Mercedes before you make a decision. Once you get the 5 bids, you'll have a clear winner. That's who you do business with. Go ahead, Dolan. And matter of fact, let me show this Mercedes discount too. Just so you know, MT, we just had somebody who got a Mercedes. And just so you know how much money is in there, you got to zoom in on this. But this was a $79,000 Mercedes electric one, just like the one you're talking about getting, except this is an EQE. And Milligan got $27,000 off. That's 20. Let me put that back on the screen. If you're on Instagram, if you're on YouTube, you can see this. $27,000 off. So I don't want you going in there thinking that, hey, if I could get $5,000 off, that sounds like a deal to me. Well, unless you get multiple offers, or you could leave a lot of money on the table, you'll end up overpaying by like $15,000, $20,000 and never know it. Go ahead, Dolan, shoot that next one up. All right, welcome to the new people who just jumped on. This is Car Shopping Questions and Answers. We're doing rapid fire Q&A. Any car question, throw it up, type it up. Dolan will pull it into the screen. And shout out to the people who have liked the broadcast. Hit that like button. It means a lot. You make sure you run once you do that, you let the algorithm know we're talking big money over here. All right, ID core rules. What's the most discount seeing on a RAV4 premium? You're feeling for the bottom. That's a losing strategy. So when I look at a vehicle like Tiffany's vehicle, Tiffany, look, she gets a Mazda 2024 CX-90. Her best offer from all of her bids was $6,530 off. At the time last year, Eddie got a Toyota 2023 hybrid Camry. Those were hot. His best offer at the time was $2,086 under MSRP. That was a time when people were still charging over MSRP for some of these hybrids and some of these Camrys. So you don't know what your offer is going to be. I wish I could tell you that, hey, a Jeep Grand Cherokee, if you get $7,000 off, that's the bottom. A BMW X5, if you get $6,000 off, that's the bottom. No one knows. And frankly, there's never going to be a way to know. The only way that you possibly could know is if you're in our network and you see people who make a deal. I'll give you an example. If I see Ashley picks up his QX, his Infiniti QX 60. I see Ashley, let's see, he picks up his Infiniti QX 60, $58,000 vehicle. He gets it for $554, no money down. He leased it. $554, no money down on his lease. That's a under 1% lease, if you're not aware of how leases are judged. Savvy people all know about the 1% rule. So if your lease payment is 1% or less than the MSRP, you stole a vehicle. So this is a 1% lease, no money down. That's the only way we can judge a 1% lease, not with money down. So when I look at the discount on this, he probably got $7,000-8,000 off that Infiniti. He might have got you can't get that type of payment without getting huge amounts off and huge rebates. But he did not know that he was going to get that type of payment on his Infiniti. He did not know that he was going to get that type of payment. He went in, he shopped the market using our strategies. And just so you know, once you know how to do this, it only takes you 90 minutes to shop the market. When you see these people, look at Ansley's last sentence. Started the process Saturday, accepted a deal Monday. This doesn't take you, I'm not ever going to spend more than 2 hours car shopping to get a deal. Never. 90 minutes tops, I'm going to get a below market deal on anything. So when you look at the process of using a computer, this is what they're made for. See, the problem is you're just not using computers. You're not using the internet. You use the internet for Amazon, don't you? Don't you use the internet to shop competitively from Amazon, to go on websites when you need to buy something big? You're going to the internet. But when you need to buy something like a car, you're going to the dealership, not the internet. When every dealership in America has a website that you could be reaching out to them and making them compete. But no one knows what the below market deal is going to be, Cora. It's just ID corals. There's no way to know. We have people who, you saw Milligan, her below market deal was $27,000. It depends on the vehicle. That was an electric Mercedes. Sean's below market deal on a F-150 Lightning that he got was $20,000 off. Where's his deal? Look, Kimberly, she got a Maserati. That particular Maserati, the below market deal was $20,000 off. But as I said, Sean, $20,000 off. But Tiffany was $6,500 off. So when you see on the Mazda, so it's different for every vehicle. You have to understand that. And there's no way for you guys to know that. Unless you're in our group and then you see somebody get a car that you want and you're like, wow, if he just got 20 and he did that work, then I know the below market deal is 20. Let me go get it. But you still got to send your offers out. But there's no way to know. And when you try to guess, you get in trouble. That's what negotiators do. That's what negotiators do. They'd be like, all right, I feel like I got 7,000 off this. I think I did good. What if you could have got 12? What if you could have got 17? You're not doing good. All right, go ahead, Dolan. Absolutely applies to used cars. Our system in my book, somebody said, does this apply to used cars? Our system in my book is below market used cars, below market leases, and below market new car purchases. We also have the bank bidding war where we make banks and credit unions bid for our business instead of going and begging one bank to give us a loan. So we also sell leases and sell. So we run pretty much an organized bidding system for car buying and leasing. That's what we do. In a nutshell, what separates Cars from Home from any other channel? What separates my teachings from anyone else? We have an organized system for making people bid for our business. We send them through a round robin. That's how we have grandmothers who save more money than the best negotiator. It's just that simple. Rosalie. Rosalie's deal is insane. Look at Rosalie. And I wish some of you, I know some of you have these cars. That's the reason I show all of these different cars, because you might have these cars and you're